All right, y'all. Y'all know when I come on smiling, that means it's time for some bullshit. Time for some bullshit. Some intellectual bullshit. All right, so I want to say peace, family. Welcome to another powerful live stream. I will be responding to Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert. Okay? If I'm saying his name right. If I'm saying it wrong, I really honestly do not care. And with that being said, we're gonna hit them with them facts that break their back. See, now this is what I do. I am a battlefield scholar. Battlefield scholar. Do not play with me. Do not play with me. I am a professional debater. I am as professional as I am an elite debater. Excuse me. I am an assassin debater. Okay. So we want to respond to these people, and we want to take that sniper rifle of truth, and we want to clap at that community who nobody can speak of, and we want to whack their ass with a shell of truth. We want to whack them with a shell of truth. So y'all know how I do. I throw books at people. That's what I do for a living. I grab books and I throw them at people like dodgeball. Dodge these facts. And with that being said, what we gonna do first, I'm gonna just hit y'all with 20 slides. I'm gonna just hit y'all with 20 quick slides. Now, before I even go in right on the subject at hand, I want to say this. Let me share my screen. For everybody saying, because it's a lot of new people here. I see it's a lot of new people. So I want to say this for everybody saying, why you don't debate a Jew and why you don't I've been smashed a Jew. What are y'all talking about? See, what's happening is y'all late, and y'all just now discovering me, and y'all are late, and y'all y'all allowing mainstream media to make old news new news. Look at the date on this. This is from August 10th, 2020. This is like a month after I made them tweets about Judaism being false. This got almost 500,000 views. I mashed him. Go watch this video. Go watch it. This is my channel, Young Pharaoh. All you got to do is go to playlist, go to YP debates, and I smashed this man. Okay? I've been calling out the Jewish community for 5 years straight. I finally got a rabbi to answer me a couple months ago, almost last year, and I mashed him. So I just want people to know this ain't about anti-Semitism or none of that. This is about scholarship. That's what it's about. And it's about falsehood. So I've been mashed. I already mashed a rabbi out. I want a top rabbi. This was 3 hours of pressure. 3 hours of pressure. Go watch this debate and watch me mash this man out. Period. Look at what somebody wrote. This ain't even a black person in the comments, because I don't want nobody saying, well, Phil, this is a white person. They say, I can't decide if this is murder or manslaughter. What, 1.7 thousand likes on that comment. And that's a white person. That's a white person. So that's just to let y'all know, this ain't about favoritism. This ain't about racism. This is about scholarship. And we mashing the gas on people. Straight up. Now, with that being said, let me share my screen right here, right? Because before I play whatchamacallit, these Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert clips, I want to show y'all something. Let me remember my slide. I'm on slide 58. So as you can see, I inserted this slide into this presentation. But this slide is not originally in this presentation. But if y'all go to Otten University right now, go watch the lecture. I did a whole lecture like a year ago. This is not even new, called Judaism Exposed. Look at this shit. I did 30-something slides exposing Judaism with verses and all kind of shit. I bang they ass. So this is nothing new. I do this for a living. Now, they want to talk about pedophilia, right? Before I even, listen, this is just the intro. Let's go to the Torah. Let's go to the Torah. And let's go to the Bible. And we want to talk about pedophilia. I'm not going to give it all, but I'm going to give you a taste. Now, this is the Shutlan Urak Even Hazer 23, the Simon 23 out of the Sepharia, however you say it. What does this verse say? This verse says, a woman who has some sort of closure in her womb, and therefore, when her husband has relations with her, he sprinkles outside. This is prohibited, but it is permitted to have relations with a minor, or an alienate, since this is the way of the land. This is in the Torah. The Torah is promoting pedophilia. Now let's go to the Bible. Let's go to the Bible. And I got so many pedophile verses out of the Torah, it's not even funny. But I'm not even going to make this about that. I'm going to just give you one out of the Torah, and I'm going to give you one out of the Bible, and then I'm going to back up. But if you want some smoke, I will pull all the verses right back out. I've been doing this for years. I will pull them shits right out and tear y'all ass up. Now let's go to the Bible. Right? Is God a pedophile? Okay? Is God a pedophile? Now this is out of the King James Bible. The book of Numbers, chapter 31, verse 17 says what? Now, and this is Moses. This is what God told Moses to tell the Israelites. Now, therefore, kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that have known man by lying with him. Next verse says what? But all the women children, key word, women children, but all the women children that have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourself. So this is in the Torah and in the Bible that God is permitting pedophilia amongst the Hebrew Israelites, aka the Jews. So I don't want to hear that. And I got about 30 verses or more from each book. So listen, let's get it popping. I got 50,000 on myself. I'll tear y'all ass up. I'll tear y'all ass up. So when we talk about pedophilia in a specific community, it's not a secret. Why? Because God ordains pedophilia. And I can show you so many verses. But let's keep it rocking. Now let's get the show started now. It's time to get scholastic on that ass. It's time to get scholastic. First, we're going to play Jimmy Kimmel. Then we're going to play Stephen Colbert. Now, both of these are from 5 days ago. So just to put this on the record, today is March 1st. Spring. It's time to do some spring cleaning, baby. Today is March 1st. Both these came out 5 days ago. Today is March 1st, year 2021, according to the Gregorian calendar. So it's not actually 2021. It's just 2021 according to white people. Now, with that being said, let's play Jimmy Kimmel first. Then we're going to play Stephen Colbert from the late night show. And then I'm going to tear their ass up with facts. Now, let's go. Jimmy Kimmel.
Mike Pence, by the way, will not be in attendance at CPAC, even though they tried to reach out and assure him that he'd be safe from all the people who tried to kill him last month. CPAC, if you don't know, is an annual event. It's like Comic-Con for neocons and neo-Nazis, too. This year, the festivities will be held in Orlando. The theme is America Uncanceled. This is their big thing, which is interesting because yesterday they canceled one of the speakers they had scheduled. They tweeted, "We have just learned that someone we invited to CPAC."
Hold on, let me play that back. I have no clue what happened. Let me run that back.
On for neocons and neo-Nazis, too. This year, the festivities will be held in Orlando. The theme is America Uncanceled. This is their big thing, which is interesting because yesterday they canceled one of the speakers they had scheduled. They tweeted, "We have just learned that someone we invited to CPAC has expressed reprehensible views." Only one? That have no home with our conference or our organization. The individual will not be participating at our conference. That individual was a rapper who...
Pause. You see how they trying to do me? I'm not a rapper. I'm not a rapper. Tell Jimmy Kimmel. Now, I'm not saying I don't rap. Yes, I rap. But that's not my primary occupation. I'm a teacher. I just know how to rap. If that's the case, why he didn't say a Muay Thai fighter? Because I fight too. because that's not my primary occupation. So you see how mainstream media trying to downplay me and, oh, he's a rapper. And I'm not a rapper. I'm a teacher who knows how to rap. And I also know how to fight and a whole bunch of other things. So I just wanted to put that out there. But let me allow him to give me my introduction. Give me my introduction, Jimmy. Come on.
Heard of, called Young Pharaoh. Young will not be appearing at CPAC after he tweeted Judaism is a big lie that was created for political gain.
And it was.
Sorry, Jared. Sorry, Ivanka. But even without Young Pharaoh,
it was.
They have a hell
now
of a
I want to show y'all. I want to show y'all
the
the tactics of mainstream media. Before I go and play Stephen, right? I want to show y'all the tactics of mainstream media. Do you see how they try to recreate the narrative of what somebody says and then don't allow them to defend themselves? You see how they do? Yes, I did say that. I said Judaism is completely made up for political gain, specifically political warfare. I did say that, and I'm still saying that. But allow me to defend myself. So since the mainstream media want to try to character assassinate me, when is the mainstream media going to invite me on somebody's platform so that I can explain why I said what I said? Don't just tell people what I said and try to frame me as a negative person. Allow me the chance to defend myself. Allow me the chance to reinforce my argument. Period. Now let me play Stephen now. That was Jimmy. Now let me play Stephen now. Let's go.
I just have to check. When you turn your back on me and walk away, I have to make sure there's a reason for you removing yourself from the room. According to CPAC, it's time to stand up for Americans whose views have gotten them canceled, which is why they kick things off by canceling an appearance from one of their panelists for a history of making anti-Semitic claims. Good. Conservatives don't want to be associated with anyone like that. It's only the good name of the mob with aluminum bats trying to murder Mike Pence. The canceled man in question is a rapper named Young Pharaoh.
I'm not a rapper.
Who was pulled from the lineup after journalists pointed out his record of publicly rejecting the existence of Judaism outright. Okay, pretty bold stance to reject the existence of the world's oldest monotheistic religion. They've been around for a while, and they write it all down. It's kind of their thing.
No, they don't.
You know who can tell Young Pharaoh that Judaism exists?
Who?
Old Pharaoh.
Okay, we finna murk him. We finna murk his ass. But before I murk him, because I went and asked Old Pharaoh. As a matter of fact, if you haven't noticed, I've been talking to Old Pharaoh for all my life. And they said you lying. But before I murk them boys, let's go back to Jimmy real quick. Because I don't want nobody to forget that Jimmy, okay? Jimmy might be a tad bit racist. Okay? This from CNN. I don't want to hear it. Remember that time Jimmy Kimmel had to apologize for playing blackface? Huh? Okay, so I'm not even going to go into this because I don't want nobody to say I'm playing the race card. I'm playing the facts card. But I want to remind people, Jimmy, you don't have no moral standing to speak on me. You shut your bitch ass up and you keep bending over for that check that you getting, my nigga. That's what you do. Now let's go back to Stephen. Let's go back to Stephen Colbert, right? Because Stephen Colbert, let me play it one more time. Stephen Colbert told me to ask Old Pharaoh. Let's play it again. Listen.
Write it all down. It's kind of their thing. You know who can tell Young Pharaoh that Judaism exists? Old Pharaoh.
Okay, let's go ask Old Pharaoh then. Since they write it all down. Bitch, I got the book they wrote. Allegedly. I got the book. Now, since they wrote it all down, right? We have to go to the story of Exodus, where allegedly 600,000 white people were delivered out of a land that they cannot scientifically even exist on. But 600,000 Caucasoids. Let's be clear on that. A Caucasoid is not just a white person. Arabs are considered Caucasoids too. So 600,000 Caucasoids were delivered out of Egypt, right? We supposed to believe this by God. Now, Exodus never happened. But let me prove my point, right? Let me wash y'all up real quick. Let's go to the Bible. Exodus chapter 1 verse 11 says what? Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramesses. Now, there's only one problem with this lie in the Bible. The temple of Ramesses is more than 15,000 years old. Over 250 geologists, I got the receipts, over 250 geologists confirmed that the architecture in Egypt is at minimum 30,000 years old. Why is this important? This alleged Bible story took place at maximum 6,000 years ago. Specifically, if you want to be to the point, about 3,500 years ago. Now, why is this important? How did white Caucasoids build a temple that was there before they even existed? Let's be clear. What? You need me to ask the question again? How did white Caucasoids build the temple of Ramesses under the conditions of slavery if the temple of Ramesses was on the planet 30,000 years ago before white people were even a species? Huh? Before Arabs were even a species? Huh? Let's be clear on that. So that's the first, that's how you catch the lie. Now, how do you prove that they made this story up? Salute to General Cyrus Student Seti for this part of the research right here, because he threw me this alley-oop. So this part right here is from General Seti. In 1822, Jean Champollion, who was an Egyptologist, aka another white man with no degree, naming himself things, Jean Champollion allegedly discovered the word Ramesses in 1822. The King James Bible was written in 1611. Now, why is this important? How did the King James Bible end up with a word in it that didn't come out or didn't become discovered until 211 years after it was wrote? So that means these people made the story up and then they backdated the story, which is conclusive with the fact that the temple was there at an earlier date than the story claims it was built. So these people are lying. These people are lying. They lying to you. Now let's keep it moving, because people want to say, well, what about parting the Red Sea? What about parting the Red Sea? They stole that from Egypt too. If you go into the tomb of Ramesses, this is on the wall. Look, Armana, tomb of Ramesses, scene showing images of Akhenaten and Nefertiti out at sea having a war. They out at sea having a battle. This is called the Battle of the Sea. So these people took our ancestors' story and remixed it and plagiarized it and sold it back to us with us at the shitty end of the stick in the story. There was no Red Sea party. It was these people went in our tombs, seen what we wrote on the wall, and wrote that shit on in a bullshit story and gave it to us. Lying. They're lying. They're lying. Now let's keep it moving, right? And this right here is just a little jab, because you know I like the jab. Okay? Now they say Moses, right? Let's read the verse. Let's read the verse. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 2. Remember how the Lord your God led you all the way in the wilderness these 40 years to humble and test you in order to know what was in your heart, whether or not you would keep his commands. Now this right here is the wilderness journey from Goshen, which is Ramesses, all the way to Israel via Jerusalem. Now here's the thing. I want everybody right now, when you get off this video, Google search how long it takes to get from Egypt to Jerusalem. Do you know that you can walk? Look at our screenshot is right here. Let me zoom in. Walk. It takes 6 hours. It takes 6 days and 5 hours to walk from Egypt to Jerusalem. So you might say, Pharaoh, why is this important? Why the fuck was white people or Moses wandering 40 years on a 6-day walk? What kind of prophet is you following? You might as well be fucking following me through the desert. Who the fuck wanders 40 years on a 6-day walk? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Now let's keep it moving, right? Let's keep it moving. Because they say, ask old Pharaoh. And I'm not done. We finna get into the verses. We going to talk about how the Jews are a homeless people and how Israel is not the land of the Jews, according to the Bible and according to the Torah. Let's go. But first I want to keep, twisting the knife. Let me keep twisting the knife. The book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 22 says what? And Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians. Let me read that again. And Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians and was mighty in words and in deeds. So now, why is this important? If Moses is the greatest prophet in the world, then the Pharaoh must be the greatest person in the world, because he's the one who educated Moses. Let's be clear on that. Let's be clear on that. So there is no more intellectual and spiritually divine people than the African Egyptians, because God sent Moses to go get educated by Africans, Egyptians. Let's be clear on that. Let's be clear on that. So the Jews are not the holiest people. They are not the most wisest people. The African Egyptians are. If that's not true, why did you bring your ass to our land to learn from us? Okay, let's be clear. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. And I want y'all to pay attention to the imagery. Okay? When we was burying ourselves in gold, Caucasoids were still in the Caucasus Mountains. Huh? And they want you to believe that they the Egyptians. Huh? Egyptians consider themselves children of the sun. And I don't have to bring up sunburn for white people to know that that's a reality. So how are you to chill? How do you want us to believe that your ancestors named themselves children of the sun and you can't even go to a regular beach for more than 20 minutes? Okay, next. Now we want to talk about why God cursed the African Egyptians. Because now I know a lot of y'all getting ready to say, oh, well, this is why God cursed the Egyptians, blah, 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 blah. Why did God curse the Egyptians? Plagues of Egypt, right? In the story of the book of Exodus, which never happened, our 10 disasters inflicted on Egypt by the God of Israel in order to force the Pharaoh to allow the Israelites to depart from slavery. Now, let me come back here and stress this point. White people were never enslaved in Africa by black people because they did not exist. They did not exist. Let me skip right here. This is from what is this? National Geographic. National Geographic. This is from the Australian Research Center for Ancient DNA at the University of Adelaide. Analyzed from ancient skeletons, found that the genetic makeup of modern Europe was established just 6,500 years ago. So you might say, Pharaoh, why is this important? How did a people who are only 6,000 years maximum of age on the planet build a 30,000-year-old structure under slavery-based conditions? They did not do it. White people say aliens did it. They say they was in slavery, did it. They got every excuse for how Egypt came to be, besides just giving us our credit for doing it on our own. And so I want to come back to this verse. The reason that white people say, or Jews specifically, say that God cursed Egypt is because they are haters. And they don't want you to know the greatness of your history. See this? Go look this up. While we was having a golden age, white people was having a stone age. See these are golden sandals from Egypt. When we was walking around in gold sandals, Caucasians was in the Caucasus Mountains. So they don't want you to know that you are the only people on the planet that had a golden age. No other race of people on the planet ever had a golden age. The gold in Egypt was as vast as the dust is there today. And the reason the King Tut tomb is so monolithic is because it was the only tomb unpillaged and left intact with its gold, because the Caucasoid Arabs robbed every other black tomb. Grave robbers. So this is why they curse Egypt. And this is why they curse our history, because they don't want us to know how great we are. And they trying to disinterest us from our own greatness. Let's keep it all the way real. Let's keep it all the way real. Where's Moses' tomb at? Moses ain't in no motherfucking museum. Moses ain't, you can't go see you can see my ancestors in a museum. Get out of here. Now let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it, because I know somebody gonna try to say the Egyptians weren't black. Not only did DNA testing prove the Egyptians were black, not only can't you clearly look at the mummies and see a woolly-haired African, the Greeks even said they were black. This is from the History of Herodotus, Volume 1. I got the book over there. This scanned in. Go to page 289, and what does it say? It says, I made inquiries on the subject, both in Colchis and in Egypt, and I found that the Colchians had a more distinct recollection of the Egyptians than the Egyptians had of them. Still, the Egyptians said that they believed the Colchians to be descended from the army of Sesostris. My own conjectures were founded first on the fact that they are black-skinned and have woolly hair, which certainly amounts to but little, since several other nations are so too. So even the Greeks said the Egyptians were black. Go to the same book, next page, 290. What does it say? What does it say? It says, with respect to the Ethiopians, indeed, I cannot decide whether they learned the practice from the Egyptians or the Egyptians from them. It is undoubtedly a very ancient date in Ethiopia, but that the others derive their knowledge of it from Egypt is clear to me from the fact that the Phoenicians, when they came to have commerce with the Greek, ceased to follow the Egyptians in the custom and allow their children to remain circumcised. And this is him talking about the Egyptians educating Ethiopia. So even the Greeks admitted that the Egyptians were black. Now, why is this important? The Egyptians themselves told you they were black by painting themselves on the wall as black. So Stephen Colbert talking about go ask old Pharaoh. Shit, let's go ask him, because I'm almost this. I didn't even get to the verse yet. I'm just warming y'all up. Does this look like a white man? No. Does this look like a white woman? No. Does these look like white people? No. Was this built past 6,000 years ago? Yup. Was anybody on the planet other than black people more than 6,000 years ago? No. Didn't National Geographic say the Caucasoid gene is only 6,000 years ago? Yup. So how the hell is anything in the Bible real if all of these structures was here before the story was even created? Cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out. Now, let's hit that Arab. Let's hit that Arab. Now, you might say, Pharaoh, why are you hitting the Arab? Because before I even destroy Stephen Colbert with the biblical verses, I want to hit the Arab too, because we need to get on that Quran too. Now, you might say, Pharaoh, why are you hitting the Arab? Because the Arab is falsely claiming Egypt too. Now, Arabs are genetically Caucasoids. Let's be clear on that. They're classified as Caucasians. Now, you might say, Pharaoh, why is that important? If you go to Egypt right now, who do you see claiming to be us, the woolly-haired African? You see this Arab, right? But how can the Arab be an Egyptian and be a Muslim? Huh? If God cursed Egypt according to the Quran and the Bible and the Torah, how can the Arab be a descendant of the Holy Land of Mecca and be a descendant of the alleged cursed land of Egypt? So in latent terms, so gangbangers can understand what I'm saying, these niggas is set tripping. These niggas claiming two hoods at one time. How are you an Egyptian and you a motherfucking Muslim from the Holy Land of Mecca? Now you might say, Pharaoh, I'm not understanding that. Let me help you out. Muhammad is a descendant of Abraham through Ishmael, excuse me. This right here is the biblical genealogical tree. The beginning, the flood, the Tower of Babel, Abraham. You see Abraham right here. Then you see Isaac and you see Ishmael. Ishmael is the medium that connects Muhammad and Abraham. So according to all Muslims, go get the top imam you got. Go get him. Ask the top imam you got, is Muhammad related to Abraham? They're going to tell you yes through Ishmael. Now, here's the thing. If Muhammad is related to Ishmael, is related to Abraham through Ishmael, then how the fuck are Muslims the Egyptians? Y'all ever see a nigga kick a field goal without kicking? You just seen it. How are these motherfuckers the Egyptians if they are also the Muslims? I'll tell you why. Get the fuck out. That's why. Give us our shit. It's time to sue these bitches. It's time to sue these bitches for all they got. Give us our shit, bitch. It's time to sue these hoes. It's time to sue these bitches for illegal possession of cultural property. Straight up. It's time to sue these motherfuckers. Let's keep it moving now. This is the Egyptians. Huh? Right off the wall. Does this look like a white man to you? Does this look like a Jew? Does this look like an Arab? No, it does not. This is another depiction. Now, this is who the Egyptians said were the invaders. This is who the Egyptians said were trying to conquer the land. These are the Caucasoids, aka the Jews and the Arabs, aka the Hyksos. So when you see these images on the wall, the Jews want to say they were enslaved. Now here's the thing. If you zoom in and you look at the pictures, these people got weapons in their hand. These people are trying to invade Egypt. Huh? They were invaders. So the invader stole your story, demonized you, and then made you the slave master. When really our ancestors told us these people were trying to invade and steal the gold. That's the true story. So these people were never enslaved in Egypt. They were trying to invade and conquer Egypt, just like we see them trying to do today. Let's go to another depiction on the wall. This is right on the wall. This is Pharaoh Seti. This is called the smiting of the enemy. Who is the enemy? The Caucasoid, the Arab, and the invading Jew trying to invade our shit. Now, here's another picture out of the temple with color to it. What color did the ancestors say the enemy was? I'm not going to say the name. Just look at the picture. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Our ancestors said these people were homeless invaders. They were not slaves or none of that shit. They were homeless invaders. Straight up. Now let's keep it moving. Now we want to get to the Bible verses, right? Because Stephen Colbert said, ask old Pharaoh. So let's ask him. Genesis chapter 46 verse 3 says what? And he said, I am God, the God of thy father. Fear not. Go down into Egypt. I will there make thee a great nation. So now, why is this important? We already had a nation. So this kills that they found us in huts bullshit. We already had a nation. They didn't have a nation. This proves that we had a nation and they did not. So we were civilized before they were civilized. Now let's keep it moving, right? What did it say? It say now next verse. Genesis chapter 47 verse 7 says what? And Joseph brought in Jacob his father and set him before Pharaoh, and Jacob blessed Pharaoh. Now let's go back a little bit. Genesis chapter 37 verse 1 says what? And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was stronger, in the land of Canaan. Now let's keep it pushing, right? Genesis chapter 46 verse 28 through 47, right? It says what? Israel sent Judah ahead to Joseph to lead the way before him into Goshen. Now Goshen is Egypt. Goshen, what? Let me take you back on the map. You see that? Goshen is Ramesses. It's the temple of Ramesses. So God allegedly sent a bunch of homeless Caucasoids into Egypt, right? Let's keep reading the story. Joseph made ready his chariot and went up to meet his father Israel in Goshen. He presented himself to him, fell on his neck, and wept on his neck a good while. Israel said to Joseph, I can die now, having seen for myself you are still alive. Let me skip through and let me come down here. Okay? Joseph said to his brother and to his father's household, listen to this. I will go up and tell Pharaoh and will say to him, my brothers and my father's household who were in the land of Canaan as nomads, a nomad is a homeless wanderer, have come to me. The men are shepherds, for they have been keepers of livestock. You hear that? They were shepherds, not kings, not queens, not none of that shit. When we was burying ourselves in gold, and when we was ruling our nation, these people were nomad shepherds, aka homeless animal keepers. Now let's keep it moving. The men are shepherds, for they have been keepers of livestock, and they have brought their live flocks and their herd and all that they have. So you might say, Pharaoh, why is this so important? These people had so little bit of shit that they was able to travel with it. Could you imagine trying to travel with the whole Egypt? It's impossible. So I just want to show y'all, these people were homeless. They were homeless robbers. They were nomadic invaders. That is what they did. And they invaded our ancestors' shit, stole it, claimed it as theirs, and then they telling us that it's cursed so that we don't study it and become attracted to it because it's really ours. Now let's read the highlighted part. Let's read the highlighted part. When Pharaoh calls you and says, what is your occupation? Huh? What is your occupation? You shall say, your servants have been keepers of livestock from our youth, even until now, both we and our ancestors, in order that you may settle in the land of Goshen, aka Ramesses, because all shepherds are aberrant to the Egyptians. So this means that black people seen Caucasoid Jews and Arabs as aberrant in our land. Now, if you don't know what aberrant means, let's go to the definition. What does aberrant mean? Diverging from normal type, departing from accepted standard. So now here's the thing. That right there lets you know that we are not the same people, because our ancestors seen their ancestors as abnormal. Abnormal. So the Arab and the Jew and the white man and whoever cannot be the Egyptians. You cannot be the Egyptians unless you telling me you saw yourself as abnormal. Come on, man, cut it out. Let's keep reading. Now let's keep reading. Now let's go right here, right? Let's go right here. Let's go right here. Pharaoh said to his brothers, let's continue reading. Right here. Excuse me, it's the same thing. It just get long. So let me find myself. All right. Pharaoh said to his brothers, what is your occupation? They said, Pharaoh, blah, 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 blah. We already got there. All right, here we go. They said to Pharaoh, we have come to reside as aliens in the land, for there is no pasture for your servants, flocks, because the famine is severe in the land of Canaan. So let's be clear on that. These Caucasoid Jews wandered into Egypt because they were starving to death in Canaan because they was homeless. And they even said out of their own mouth that they was aliens. Huh? Now, aliens could be seen as extraterrestrials, but also, let's pull up the definition. Wait a minute. Let me share my screen. I don't want nobody saying I'm lying or it's hate speech. We want to deal with facts and definitions only. What is an alien? Well, let me type it in. Alien definition. Let's go to it. Alien, belonging to a foreign country or nation. A foreigner, especially one who is not a naturalized citizen of the country where they are living. So now, why is this important? You cannot be an Egyptian. You cannot be an African Egyptian if when you came there, you said out your own goddamn mouth you was a homeless, broke ass, starving alien. Let's be clear on that. Now let's keep it pushing. Okay? Let's keep it pushing. I'm going to start back right here. They said to Pharaoh, we have come to reside as aliens in the land. For there is no pastor for your servants' flocks, because the famine is severe in the land of Canaan. Right? Now we ask you, let your servants settle in the land of Goshen. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, your father and your brothers have come to you. The land of Egypt is before you. Settle your father and your brothers in the best part of the land. See, our ancestors, according to this story, was so player, we didn't just let they broke ass settle on the land. We let them settle on the best part. Let them live in the land of Goshen. And if you know that they are capable among men, put them in charge of the livestock. Now, let me crush their ass real quick. How did we enslave somebody who came and asked us for a fucking job? How did we enslave somebody who came and asked us for a job? These people came to Egypt and asked us for our fucking help. We didn't ask them for shit. They was homeless wanderers, starving from a fucking famine. And these people came and did what they always do. They befriended us and then stabbed us in the back. And then got the nerve to talk about they built Ramesses. How the fuck did you build Ramesses when you came and asked for our help? It was already built according to your story. Goshen is Ramesses. Huh? We was already living in Goshen. Motherfucker. But Stephen Colbert talking about ask old Pharaoh. Bitch, I asked him. He said he don't know y'all and y'all don't check out. With your nomad ass. And now I'm finna start calling y'all bitches nomads. Fuck wrong with your nomad aberrant ass. You aberrant ass nomad motherfucker. Let's tear their ass up. Let's tear their ass up. I got 50,000 on myself. Who won it? Who won it? Give me a rabbi and an imam at the same time. Matter of fact, put 3 on each team. I want to debate 6 motherfuckers at the same time. Give me 3 Arabs, imams. Give me 3 motherfucking nomad, Caucasoid, rabbi Jews, and let's debate. Let's debate on who's who and who's telling the truth. Now, let's get to the last verse. Joseph settled his father and his brothers and granted them a holding in the land of Egypt, in the best part of the land, in the land of Ramesses, as Pharaoh had instructed. Key word, Joseph settled his family in the best part of our shit, as Pharaoh had instructed. Not Joseph was kidnapped and forced to be a slave. None of that shit. So y'all motherfuckers came asking us for our help and then gonna try to flip the script and say we enslaved y'all and God cursed us and destroyed our shit. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. You invading ass bitches came and did what y'all always do. Did what y'all always do. Now let's keep it moving, right? This is the Wiley Online Library. The significance of nomadism of Hebrew origins. This shit is from 1938. The information been out. This is from 1938. Now, I'm not going to read this whole paragraph, but I'm going to read this part. The Hebrews were originally nomads. The Hebrews were originally nomads. Now, let's go get the definition of a nomad. Don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. And I'm going to type it right in front of you. I'm going to type it right in front of you. Don't take my word for it. Let's go get the definition of a nomad. What is a nomad? Watch this. Nomad. Alexa, what is nomad? Nomad. A member of a homeless ass, broke ass, Caucasoid, lion ass Jewish community who, let me stop playing. Let me read the real definition. A member of a people having no permanent abode and who travel from place to place to find fresh pasture and livestock. That's a nomad. So this is what the Jews looked like when they first walked up in Egypt. Huh? This is what they looked like. Homelesser than the motherfucker asking for our help. Huh? Be clear on that. But stop playing on me, man. Stop playing me before I dig in y'all chest with a book. I'm going to dig in your ass with a book. Let's get the books then. Let's book fight. Let's book fight. Let's keep it pushing. Now we got more verses for their ass. We got more verses for these curses. Huh? We got more verses for these curses. Let's go. Next slide. Next slide. Now, whose land did God give to a homeless person? whose land did God give to a homeless person? Because if the Jews is God people, and God and the Jews already admit out their mouth they was homeless when they came amongst us, whose fucking land did God promise these motherfuckers? Whose land? Now let's go. The book of Joshua, chapter 18, verse 3 says what? And Joshua said unto the children of Israel, how long are ye slack to go possess the land which the Lord God of your fathers have given you? Right? The book of John, chapter 5, verse 37 says what? King James Bible. After the Father himself, which have sent me, have borne witness of me, ye have neither heard his voice at any time, nor seen his shape. Now, this is Jesus Christ allegedly talking according to John. Now, I'm going to explain both them verses that I just read in a second after I read the promised land. What is the promised land? The promised land is land that the Jews say that God promised them, right? So that could be Egypt, Israel, or any other part of the world that the Jews feel fucking entitled to. Now, the promised land is the land which, according to the Tanakh, the Hebrew Bible, God promised and subsequently gave to Abraham and to his descendants. Now remember, the Arabs tied themselves into Abraham through Ishmael. So the Arabs also believe that God promised them promised land as well. So in modern context, the phrase promised land expresses an image and idea related both to the restored homeland of the Jewish people. Now, why is this important? What did Jesus Christ just say? What did Jesus Christ just say? I'm going to read it again. The book of John, chapter 5, verse 37 says what? And the Father himself, which have sent me, this is Jesus talking, have borne witness to me. Ye have never heard his voice at any time, nor seen his shape. Now, why is this important? How are the Jews saying that they God's chosen people? How are the Jews saying that God spoke to Moses? How are the Jews saying that God promised them a land when the Son of God himself said God ain't say a motherfucking word to your bitch ass? Bitch, Jesus Christ himself said that nobody on the planet has ever heard or seen God. So who's telling the truth? Who's telling the truth? If the book is real, then that means Jesus, I'm going to believe Jesus before I believe you. Is the Jew more important than Jesus? Is the motherfucking Son of God word less than the motherfucking people that they say God chose? Let me put it to you this way. If your mama tell you that your house is hers when she died, and the neighbor say, no, your mama told me I could have your house, who the fuck am I supposed to believe? You, which is the son of your parent or the child of your parent, or the neighbor who want to inherit your parent shit? So if Jesus said that nobody has ever heard or seen God, who the fuck is these Jews to be telling us that God told them that they could take some motherfucking land from somebody? That God promised them some motherfucking land. Get the fuck out my face. Now let's keep reading. Let's keep reading. Now, I want to bang y'all ass because I'm going to another presentation that I've been working on for a while now. I've been working on this. It's called The Secret Relationship Between Jews and Satanism. Huh? Now I want to just go to one slide out of that presentation. Just one slide. Huh? Just one slide. And this is a surprise slide right here. This that motherfucking ankle joint. When I ran, I was coming off the hip. I ran out. Then I fell when I had to get the joint off my ankle and bust your ass. This is the ankle holster right here. So I could bust your ass with my little 32. This is my 32 Deuce Dillinger slide right here. Pop. Watch this. Pop. Oh, that's a Jew. Oh, no, I didn't go get no Jew to destroy a Jew. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Not only is this a Jew, this ain't just any Jew. This is Rabbi Yaron Reuven, who was a Wall Street banker for 20 years. And he's about to expose the shit that the Jews is doing. This is from 7 months ago. and he's about to expose. Let me just play the tape. Let me just play the tape. Let me just play the tape. Watch this. Shh. Quiet. Be very quiet. We hunting rabbits. Be very quiet. Let's go.
Last reason I'm going to tell you. Who knows the first two laws that Hitler...
Wait a minute. Let me turn it up. Y'all hold up. I'm going to run it back. I need the volume all the way up. I'm going to run it back.
Last reason I'm going to tell you. Who knows the first two laws that Hitler implemented? Hitler, Yimach Shemo v'Zichro, first two laws that Hitler implemented that not only put him in a different status than everybody else for the rest of history, but also made what's called until this day the biggest financial miracle in history. Who knows the first two laws? Before the Nuremberg laws. Before that, we're talking about years before it. Hitler first comes into power. What's the first two laws? Okay, I'll save you the time. Rule number one, no more pornography. No more homosexuality. None of that garbage.
Pause. So the first law that Hitler passed in Germany was no more pornography or homosexuality. So you might say, Pharaoh, why is that important? Who the fuck do y'all think is the people in America funding the LGBTQ community? George Soros, who's a Jew. So the same shit they got caught by Hitler doing in Germany is the same shit they over here doing now. Hitler caught their ass trying to destroy that country through the banking system and through the media. Huh? But y'all don't want to. Now they're going to say, oh, nigga, you praising Hitler. I'm not praising Hitler. I'm just saying what y'all motherfuckers even know. This is a Jew. This is a Jew. This is a Jew. Not just any Jew, a top tier prominent Jew who's been a Wall Street banker for 20 years. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. What else did Hitler catch him trying to do?
Not allowed. Berlin in the 30s, in the 20s, was the Sodom and Gomorrah of the day.
Okay.
They were the Las Vegas of the day. They were the Sodom and Gomorrah of the day.
Hear that? They were the Las Vegas of the day. I'm going to throw one more out. They were the Hollywood of the day. Come on, let's keep it moving.
Homosexuality, pornography, all the bestiality, all the garbage of the world, that was the capital of the world. He outlawed it. You're no longer allowed, closed all the bars, all the gay clubs, all the production, which were all run by Jewish people.
What? Okay, that's a Jew. That's a Jew. Bitch, I'm the Peyton Manning of this motherfucking internet. I'm the Peyton Manning of the library. I'm like Peyton Manning as a librarian. Let's keep it moving.
Unfortunately. Second rule. What's the second rule? Second rule was you're not allowed to charge interest.
Now we're talking about the banks. You're not allowed to charge interest. Let's keep it moving. Let's talk about why.
No more interest. Now you would think, why? What does he care about interest? Well, because all the people that had the money, that lent the money out, were Jews.
All the people that had the money and lent the money out were Jews. Guess who still got the money and lending the money out? Jews. Let's keep it moving. Jeffrey Epstein, Jew.
He didn't like it. He said no more interest. Why? Because of the high interest that the Jews charged people was so high, it ruined, it destroyed the economy in Germany.
Now, where did we see that happen before? Where did we see that happen at? Oh, that shit happened a couple months ago here, where the fucking interest inflated so fucking high, the goddamn economy crashed for communism. Now, I just did a lecture. Called Political Genius, A Discovery of Democratic Treason. And I showed you how the inventors of communism were Jews. The Communist Chinese Party got communism from Karl Marx, who was a Jew. Excuse me. And in that presentation, I even showed you how they threw this nigga Karl Marx a celebration on his birthday, even though he's dead, because they praise him for giving him communism. This is why Israel and China are like this, because China get their whole terrorism tactics from Israel. The Jews created communism. Let's be clear on that. Now let's keep it moving. I got 50,000 on myself. I debate any rabbi you want to go get. I debate any motherfucker you want to go get. I got 50,000 on myself. I don't want to hear nothing about no anti-Semitism, nothing about no, get the fuck out of here. Come with facts or get the fuck out of my face. Let's keep it moving.
They destroyed, just like they destroyed Russia a few years before that through their communism over there. Jews destroyed Russia, not Goyim. Jews destroyed. Communism is by Jews.
That's a Jew just said. A Jew just agreed with me. A top Jew. Let's keep it moving.
Don't let anybody confuse you. You look at history, Karl Marx, all the other Reshaim, they're all Jews.
I just said that. Let's keep it moving.
Wicked, but nonetheless Jews. They destroyed Russia, and he wrote in chapter 2 of Mein Kampf, they destroyed Russia, now they're destroying Germany, that's why I have to destroy them. Now, this doesn't make he's right. The point is, that's actually real, true history.
Now, you heard what he said? A Jew just defended Hitler. A Jew. So when anybody defends Hitler, I'm not saying I agree with the shit he did, but when anybody defends Hitler, I don't want to hear shit because a Jew just defended Hitler. A Jew just said that the Jews destroyed Russia and were trying to destroy Germany, and Hitler caught their ass and said we have to stop them. So let's be clear, and this is coming from a Jew. So I don't want to hear another Jew cannot be anti-Semitic. Okay. Mind you, Semitism is not a race, it's a fucking language. Let's keep it moving.
Now, he saw that the Jews are controlling the financial system and they're charging such high interest, they destroyed the German economy to the extent that by the time you arrived to go to the store to buy bread, you had to take a whole horse carriage full of money. By the time you arrive at the store, it wasn't enough. Why? Because the inflation rate was so high. The bread became so much more valuable and your money went down. So now he says, what's the cause of this? Because nobody can afford to do anything because the interest rates are so high. So he decided no more interest rates. You're not allowed to charge interest rates. And at that time, the Great Depression was happening around the entire world. Everyone was in a financial collapse. America was a financial collapse. England was a financial collapse. Everybody else was collapsing. Germany collapsed worse than everybody else. But after he passed this law of no more interest, within 6 years, Germany became the leading, wealthiest economy in the world.
Pause. So after Hitler got rid of them Jews, Germany became the wealthiest economy in the world in 6 years. Now you might say, Pharaoh, why is this important? Well, I'm not advocating for violence, and I'm not saying we should be violent towards anyone. But if we start worrying about ourselves and spending that $1 trillion spending power dollar that the black community got with ourselves, how motherfucking wealthy do you think we have become in the world? Huh? How motherfucking powerful do you think we have become if we stop signing record deals and start creating our own record labels? Huh? If we stop dealing with the fucking Jewish community and start putting ourselves in position to deal with us, we have become even more powerful than they became financially. Let's keep it moving.
They called it a financial miracle. Why? They were the only ones that were bold enough to stop interest. This is one of the biggest reasons of why he hated Jews. Because they destroyed the economy because of their greed. Rabotai, it's not making them right. Don't let this confuse you. But
a Jewish rabbi, a prominent, go look this man up. This is not a regular everyday, this is a top prominent Jew. Just told you that Hitler did not like the Jews because they were destroying the economy and destroying Germany. What?
This is happening again. The cash advance business right now is destroying the economy in America. Why? Because all of the people that are defaulting, all of the people that are being stolen from, guess who they are? Small businesses.
So he just said that the Jews are destroying the economy in America. A Jew just said it. And guess who the small business owners are? Us. Everyday black and white people. Us. Okay, let's keep it moving.
Small businesses are what build economies, not big businesses. Coca-Cola, Apple, Google, Amazon, all those big companies, they're good for business, but they're not the economy. What makes an economy, what makes an economy prosper is when there's small businesses starting and small businesses flourishing, because they are the ones that actually hire the most amount of people. If you have small business grow, your economy grows. you have small business decline, your economy declines. I was in the financial business for 20 years. This is one thing you can't challenge. Now, when you have an industry that
I want to know, man said he was in the financial business for 20 years. Now, let's be specific. He was on Wall Street for 20 years. Wall Street. Let's keep it moving.
number one objective, directly or indirectly, is to destroy small businesses. Guess what? This is happening again. And you'll see, if nobody listens to me, nobody listens to the Torah, nobody listens to history, and everybody ignores it, this is going to be a huge blow up to the extent where you can see how Edom, just like the Torah says, Edom is going to come back again. Edom becomes America. Edom becomes America. Why? Because America is Edom after all. But you'll see what happens. And you'll see that all of a sudden the 6 million Jews that are in America, that feel comfortable, that are sometimes in government, that are sometimes in politics, that are running big businesses, and so on and so forth, guess what? Same exact thing happened in Germany. We were in politics, we were in business, we were prospering, we were great. In Germany, same exact thing. In Greece, same thing. In Rome, same thing.
So he's confirming everything I've been saying for 5 years. Jews are in the same positions now that they were in then. I'm in Germany, Greece, all of that. Don't get this shit twisted. You know why? Because a Jew is not an ethnicity, it's an ideology. Surprise. Surprise. And he said the same shit is happening now. This is a fucking Jew. A prominent Jew at that. Let's keep it moving.
Egypt, same thing.
Look.
Guess what? We get greedy. We get sinful. We become Reshaim. What happens? Hashem says, oh, you want to be Reshaim? I'll punish you. With what? With the same guy that you wanted to become like. And this, Rabotai, is what's happening under our noses. And unfortunately, this, I don't know whether the Gdolim that we have in this.
Now, I want to be clear on that. I want to be clear on this. The word goyim, according to Jews, is slave. So if you're not a Jew, they call you a goyim. Now, here's the thing. If we can't speak on Judaism because we anti-Semitic, then we might as well start telling the Jewish community they anti-humanity. Because they consider anybody that's not a Jew a motherfucking slave, a goyim. And matter of fact, don't take my word on it. Let me share my screen and go back to my other PowerPoint and prove it to you, like I did years ago. This is a quote from a Jewish rabbi, Aladia Yosef, however you say his name. What did he say? He said, Goyim were born only to serve us. Without that, they have no place in the world. Only to serve the people of Israel. Why are Gentiles needed? They will work, they will plow, they will reap. We will sit like an Effendi and eat. That is why Gentiles are created. So don't take my word for it. Take a Jew's word for it. So if me speaking on him calling me a slave makes me anti-Semitic, what the fuck is he? What the fuck is he? Now let's go back to my other PowerPoint. Let's go back to my other PowerPoint. Man, I got more motherfucking PowerPoints than motherfucking than Freezer got death beams. I got more PowerPoints than Freezer got death beams. Is you crazy? Let's go back. Let's run it. Now let's play this. Let's keep this going.
World today are unaware or nonchalant. I'm not really sure. All I can tell you is I've had in my career 5 times, 5, maybe 6 times, where I had a aha moment. Meaning I saw something, to me was clear as day. I knew this deal was going to work out. I saw a stock was $4. I said, this is worth 32. How long? 2, 3, 4 years. It's going to be 32. Sometimes happen faster, sometimes longer. 5 times in my career, certain things like that happened to me. Baruch Hashem. This, for sure, is an aha moment. Unless the government actually, by Chazdei Hashem, by mercy of Hashem, interferes with that industry and completely ruins it, we will see a Holocaust starting from this business. So let me explain to you. I'm an honest person, so I don't beat around the bush. I'm gonna tell you things as they are. I was on Wall Street for 16 years.
Heard that? Heard that? A Jew said he was on Wall Street for 16. This is a war. It don't get no more to the source than it. Not only do we got a Jew, we got somebody coming straight from Wall Street. How much more accuracy do y'all need me to show y'all? I'm accurate. I'm accurate with them receipts. Let's keep it moving.
From my own firm. I know a little bit more about the financial business than any rabbi in the world. Why? I was on Wall Street. Before I was a rabbi, I was on Wall Street. I had a firm, I had a brokerage firm, I had a hedge fund, Had an insurance company. Oh,
firm, brokerage firm, hedge fund, insurance company.
Jim, I was an executive. I was on CNBC. I was on Bloomberg.
He was an executive. He was on CNBC. He was on Bloomberg.
I was somebody.
He was somebody.
I was somebody. It wasn't like some guy that worked at Merrill Lynch made $100,000 a year. You did an $85,000 deal where you lent somebody $85,000. I made $1.6 million for myself in one day. So there's a little bit of experience that came with it to get to that point.
Okay.
Now, so what I'm trying to explain to you is that it's not a matter of what's the deal, what's the profit, what's the commission, what's the company, what's the industry. It's a matter of what's right, what's wrong, what's allowed, what's not allowed. Now, a Jew, first and foremost, is never allowed to lend another Jew money with interest. Now, the exception is if the Jew that's borrowing the money is a mechalel Shabbat, you're allowed to charge him interest, but they still do not recommend it, because if that Jew does tshuva, you have to pay him back all the interest. But needless to say, you're not allowed to lend the average Jew that keeps Shabbat money and charge him interest. That's rule number one. So that means that any Jew that you deal with, even if you don't know he's a Jew, which most likely you'll run into, because sometimes John Cohen is a Jew, John Cohen is not a Jew. So you're not really going to know. It's not on the application to say, Mr. John, are you a Jew or not? You're not allowed, because you put you in jail. So you don't know if he's a Jew or not. So that means that every day you have a 50-50 chance of losing Olam Haba. Every day. Who wants to be in such a business? That's number one. Number two, even if you only deal with goyim, you're still not allowed to.
You hear that word? Goyim, aka slaves, aka non-Jews.
Something called usury. Usury is overcharging and lending money in such a way, or doing business in such a way where it hurts the public. When you charge somebody an interest that is drastically above the norm being bank rates, regular bank rates, and what's legally allowed according to the law, when you charge them such an interest rate that it becomes very difficult, to the extent of almost impossible for the average person to pay it back, you are now in a business where you're taking advantage of people. If he can go to Wells Fargo and get the same loan for 8%, and you're charging them 80%, it doesn't matter that you're not 300%. Even if the average was 8 and you were 15, you are in a problem. Even if the average was 8 and you are 30, you are in a problem. It doesn't have to be 300.
Okay.
300 just means you're just a psychopath. 80% is still highway robbery. 80% is still against halacha. Still not allowed to do it, even for goyim. Why? Because it's usury. But even more so than anything else that I've just said, when this is eventually exposed to the public, it will lead every single member that works for these companies, even as a clerk, even not as a broker, a clerk, a secretary, a janitor, works for ABC Lending that does cash advance when it's officially disclosed to the world, because Hashem is going to do that. Guess what? Chilul Hashem. And any single person that's involved in Chilul Hashem, the Reshit Chochmah says what the Gemara in Masechet Rosh Hashanah, page 17a says, he goes to Gehenom and he doesn't leave, ever, even after Mashiach. So why would anybody want to associate with even 1% of anything I just said? The lending, the taking advantage, the Chilul Hashem, the usury, the unethical, even the rabbi that you said that they, oh, you really shouldn't do it, but yeah, you can. What kind of rabbi? That's a puppet. You have to find yourself a real rabbi that's going to tell you, not allowed. No, not recommended. Not allowed. Not allowed. That's what it is. Not allowed. You have to quit tomorrow. Go, how about this? Do yourself a favor. Go on Bloomberg. Bloomberg, go on Google, go on Bloomberg. You look at cash advance business. It's a 5-part article explaining the entire industry for you. Everything I just said with a little bit of sugar on it. Everything I just said without the Torah part. I'll tell you exactly about all the criminals that are in the business. Unfortunately, one thing that we know, I know personally, that the article doesn't know as much, is that predominantly the people that are in this business are guys that used to be in the brokerage business that went to jail, criminals, thieves, psychopaths, mafia, but predominantly it's Orthodox Jews.
Whoa, did you hear that? Did y'all hear that? Let's run it back. In case you didn't hear that, listen to this. Listen to who he said is in the businesses that are, he said it's against Jew religion for them to even be doing us the way they doing us with these banks through interest. But listen to who he said they are. Listen to his, this is a Jew. Listen,
entire industry for you. Everything I just said with a little bit of sugar on it.
Listen.
Everything I just said without the Torah part, I'll tell you exactly about all the criminals that are in the business.
He said he's going to tell you exactly about all the criminals in the business. Now listen to this.
One thing that I know personally, that the article doesn't know as much.
He knows this personally. Listen.
Is that predominantly the people that are in this business are guys that used to be in the brokerage business that went to jail, criminals,
thieves,
psychopaths, mafia.
Mafia.
Predominantly, it's Orthodox Jews.
But predominantly, it's Orthodox Jews. Now, let me say this because I know somebody gonna try to wiggle. Somebody gonna say, well, he said, thieves, criminals, and psychopaths were separate from Jews. No, he said predominantly Orthodox Jews, which means either these people are the criminals, psychopaths, and thieves, or they hanging with them, which means apparently you still is, or you would not be hanging with them motherfuckers. So let's be clear on that. So this is coming from a Wall Street Jewish rabbi, one of the top Jewish rabbis we can even go get, admitting that these motherfuckers is hanging with criminals, thieves, convicts, and psychopaths, and all kind of motherfuckers. Okay, let's be clear on that. Let's keep it moving.
Predominantly, it's Orthodox Jews funding it, selling it, and you have even yeshiva kids that have no skills whatsoever going into that business and starting to make $10,000, $20,000 a month without even knowing what to do. Why? This is much worse than the boiler room days of the stock market business was 30 years ago. Because back then, 30 years ago, when there were unethical brokers in the world, you still had to have selling skills. Why? Because at the end of the day, the guy is giving you money and you're giving him a dream. Here, you're the one giving him the money. There's no selling. You don't have to do anything. Why? He's the one calling you, asking you, please lend me money. He doesn't know that he's signing a death sentence. He doesn't know that he's about to lose everything he has if you're crooked, if you went the wrong way, if you have a bad memory, if your alarm doesn't go off. He doesn't know any of that stuff. He thinks, no, you're Joe, my friend. Joe calls me every Tuesday until we close the deal. Guess what? Joe's no longer in a deal after you sign. The broker is no longer in a deal. You call him after the COJ is being implemented. Joe doesn't pick up the phone. Why? Joe's not in control. He's just a broker. He got paid his commission. Rabotai, if you are in this business, if you know somebody in this business and you don't hate them and you don't hate yourself, you have to send them what I just said and you have to get them out of that business no matter what you have to do. If you love Jews, you have to let people know this is going to bring an ason to Am Yisrael. It's going to bring a disaster to Am Yisrael.
You hear that? So he just basically admitted that the Jews is finessing motherfuckers on these contracts. And just said that this is so urgent that he wants you to warn people because if they don't stop, it's going to bring assault to Israel. Do y'all need me to go get that video I have of Robert Finkelstein out of New York saying that the Jews grind children up and put them in the mother? Let me go get it. Let me go get it. I got one more. Wait a minute. I got one more PowerPoint for y'all. I was going to stop, but Stephen Colbert told me to go ask old Pharaoh. Huh? I wonder if they're going to invite me on that motherfucker. Hey, can y'all invite me on the goddamn late night show? Am I invited? Shit. Am I invited? Let me see. Let me go get my human trafficking exposed presentation. That's all I got is lectures for y'all. That's all I got is presentations for y'all. That's all I got. That's all I got is facts. I ain't got nothing else for you but the truth. Don't come. I might not even have no love for your bitch ass, but I will always have the truth. I will always have the truth. Now let me let this one pop up so I can let another Jew explain to y'all how they be sacrificing kids and putting them in the McDonald's food. And this is Rabbi Finkelstein out of New York. So, we're going to let the Jews expose what they do because I don't want to hear nothing about no anti-Semitism or none of that bullshit that y'all talking about. So let me let the Jews speak on their own behalf. But I just wanted to let y'all know I'm the one. I'm the motherfucking one. I'm the one, baby. I'm the one. Soon as this presentation load up, I'm banging y'all ass. Matter of fact, hold up. Rabbi Finkelstein. Hold on. I don't know if I'm spelling it right. I don't know if I'm spelling it right, but hopefully it correct me. Hold up. Here we go. Here we go. Where is that? Hempstead case, UK. Okay. Y'all know how they do. They be censoring shit. But go watch this. Go watch this interview. I'm not gonna play the whole interview. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and play the whole interview. I'm not. It's an hour something long. But they also got a shorter version on it. But I don't feel like going through my PowerPoints to find it. But this is on YouTube as well. But Google just put it up on Facebook. Blood sacrifice for McDonald's food featuring Rabbi Finkelstein and James Wickstorm. Go, and this is a real interview. It's not fake. It's not. This is real.
The East Coast of the United States is going to be.
This is a real interview,
and we're going to be talking about.
And the Jew, and he's on there explaining and exposing how they sacrifice kids and put them in the fucking McDonald's food and through the meat industry so that nobody ever finds the bodies of these Oh, wait a minute. I might got it. It might have popped up in time. Oh, got him. Got him. Found it. I do this. Listen, go to Aten University right now. ATEN University.com. Go to politics. Then go to the politics section. Then go to the political crime section and watch this lecture I did on human trafficking. I exposed all of this shit. Now, when you go to slide 27, here it go right here. I'm going to just play this clip. This is out the interview. And this is backed up by Robert Steele, ex-CIA officer, who also gave me a shout out. Mother Teresa, who is the mother of what's his name? Anthony Fauci. Bitch also got arrested for sex trafficking. So all these motherfuckers is sex traffickers and they lying. But watch this. Let me play this.
And in the meantime, we have a lot of fun around Passover where we steal the children. And I know you know because I've done it on your show before. I mean, we steal 100 to 300,000 children a year just here in this country. And we drain the blood and we mix it with a Passover bread. And then we throw the bodies into the slaughterhouses that we own. And we grind up all the bodies in the sausage and the hamburger. McDonald's is one of our favorite outlets. And the people, they eat it for breakfast. They eat their children for lunch. And, us Jews, we gotta do what we do. The most important thing to remember between you, Pastor Wickstrom, and me, Rabbi Hady Finkelstein of New York, that we both have two fathers, and so that's why we look at the world in two different ways.
You hear that? You hear that? That's out of a Jew mouth. So I don't want to hear nothing about no fucking conspiracy theory. I don't want to hear nothing about no fucking anti-Semitic. Get the fuck out of here. God didn't send you motherfuckers to tell me shit at all. I don't give a fuck about it. I don't give a fuck about it. So I'm going to end right here because I don't want to do too much because this is YouTube. And you know how YouTube give it up. But I wanted to say this. I want to end on this note. Where my motherfucking, I got to make my grand finale out of here. Hold up. Let me make my grand finale up out of here. Let me end on this note. Let me end on this. Now I got to show y'all what y'all did when y'all thought y'all was going to play with me on that motherfucking, on that late night show. Let me show you what you did when you mentioned my name on that late night show. And let me give my disclaimer. I'm not advocating violence in any form. This is strictly entertainment. Just like Hollywood is entertainment, this is entertainment. I'm just the entertainer. All right? Believe this shit if you want to. I'm just the entertainer. Just like everybody else, I'm just the entertainer. So in an entertaining manner, I'm going to allow this movie clip, if you've seen it, okay, to represent the energy of this motherfucking broadcast to a certain extent in an entertaining format. And with that being said, let me show you motherfuckers how I felt when I seen you bitches playing with me on the late night show and on the Jimmy Kimmel show.
Hey, Mr. Brenton, come on, Gene. That's all bullshit.
This me and this Jimmy Kimmel and motherfucking Stephen Cohen.
I feel like I know you.
Feel like I know you, Jimmy.
I've been watching you forever.
Been watching you forever.
What's with the face? I mean, are you part of the protest? Or? No. No, I don't believe in any of that.
I don't believe in any of that.
I don't believe in anything. I just thought I'd be good for my act.
For your act? Didn't you hear what happened on the subway? Some clown got killed.
So whatever that is, yeah. No, I haven't heard. Yeah. You see, this is what I'm telling you. The audience is going to go crazy if you put this guy on. I mean, maybe for a bit, but not a whole segment. Gee, it's going to work. It's going to work. We're going to go with it. Thank you, Murray. A couple of rules, though. No cursing, no off-color material. We do a clean show.
That's me. All that no cursing.
Okay?
I don't even curse off my channel.
I love Dr. Salad.
Good. Well, someone will come and get you. Okay?
That's me. I love Dr. Fauci.
Good luck.
Thanks, Murray. Murray, one small thing.
Yeah.
When you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker?
Like your real name.
That's what you called me on the show. A Joker.
A Joker.
Do you remember?
You remember? You remember, Jimmy? You remember, Stephen? That's what you all called me on the show. A Joker. Huh? So invite me on the show so I could blow your motherfucking top with these facts. No violence, just facts. Invite me on the show so I could bring a book and hit y'all ass with one of these. That's right.
Ever since
That's right. That's right. Wait a minute. I got a great deity in my room who just reminded me this book is here. What is this called? The Ancient Egyptian Roots of Christianity. Call me on your show so I could back this book out and blow your motherfucking mind with these facts. Let's go. With these facts. Let me tear y'all ass up. Let's go.
Okay, I'm waiting for the punchline.
It's coming.
There's no punchline.
There is no punchline.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke, motherfucker.
You're serious, aren't you? You're telling us you killed those 3 young men on the subway?
Mm-hmm.
And why should we believe you?
You got nothing left to lose. Nothing can hurt me anymore.